Hi there, welcome everybody to another episode of the Paint Party live stream. It's so good to have you here in studio with me yet again. This is my Learn to Paint journey. I started a few years ago teaching myself to paint using YouTube tutorials primarily. And so I meet with you every Monday night here in my in-home studio. Over the last few weeks, we have been working on some paintings we've done before. I'm trying to wrap up a bunch of these paintings that I have sitting, probably 8 or 10 paintings sitting that are mostly done but just need some finishing work to wrap them up. So that's what we've been working on and what we'll continue to work on this evening. I hope you have had a great week and a great weekend, and the new week has kicked off to a good start. It's very, very cold as it is across most of the United States, but it is much colder up here. I think it was down to maybe negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit last night. This is the last day of our cold snap. It should bump way up to 30 degrees Fahrenheit tomorrow. So after the very, very cold weather, this will feel like a break. So I hope you're staying warm wherever you are here. You can participate in the live stream via the comments wherever you're watching. So feel free to ask questions, to make comments on the comments, whether you're on YouTube, Twitch, wherever you're watching us. We would love to, I enjoy engaging with you, so please do that. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I'll show you what we're going to work on, and this may look familiar for those of you that are looking behind me here. This is a painting I started several months ago. It is of some poppies here, and I want to, this just feels kind of dull to me. It has the potential for something, but I'm not sure exactly how to get it there. And so I'm going to try to work on that tonight to see if we can get some of that going. So that's the goal this evening. All right, let me switch cameras over here so that I can talk to you while I set things up. It looks like my palette is already out, the palette camera, so let me adjust that just a bit so you can kind of see what's going on my palette. Good deal. And then we are going to, I'm going to put this, oh, that is way too big, so pardon me while I adjust this. Reference photo, so that you can see kind of what I am working with. Let's put it there, because that's basically kind of what I have. Then this, there. That should work. All right, let me get this set up. Again, you can participate in the live stream via the comments wherever you're watching. Welcome to those of you who are just joining us right now. I'm so glad to have you. I hope you are having a great evening, and thanks so much for joining me right here in the studio. So, all right, I don't know how to get this set up. Let's try this. Let me do that. It's a little glare. I'm trying to avoid as much glare as possible for you all. Let's do that. Let's see. It looks so bright with lights. Okay. Welcome. Okay, so this is what I'm going to be working on. I apologize again for the glare, and it is kind of chalky looking because the paint has dried. I painted this many months ago. So what I really want is to capture that feeling of life in this paintings. So that's the goal, is to capture the energy of kind of that late summer. Thank you so much. I don't know why my software is only showing me LinkedIn user, but I am so appreciative of you popping in. Always good to have viewers from whatever corners of the internet you join us. So glad. Now, the thing I want to do with this painting is I do want to keep kind of the, I don't know what to call it, but kind of that, I don't want it to be perfectly, perfectly realistic. I do want it to feel like a painting, but I do want to create that pop of color. So I'm going to take some red and put it out there, some cad red. That gives us that really intense red. And some also cad orange. We will do that. And I have yellow on my palette, so that should allow us to mix some variations or put some highlights without creating a lot of dilution of the color. And there's some sap green. The turquoise. Just putting quite a bit of variation out here. Viridian, let me put some also. That's a deep, deep green. If we want that, we'll just see. All right, let's jump in. See what happens. In order to do this, okay, now looking at, I think what I want to do first is reestablish the dark spots of this painting. So we'll mix first that kind of black color. And, ooh, that is not good. There are a bunch of paint boogers in there. Don't want that. So let's see if we can avoid that. I think it's coming from my brown. The brown dries so quickly that even though I've had it cooled for several days, it probably has a lot of crud in it. So we'll see if we can make it work. If not, no, that's not gonna work. So we will put some more brown out. Let me just get rid of this brown that's here. Our try to. This burnt umber dries so quickly that the paint itself inside may be wet, but then it's got that kind of crusty outer layer, and that's what ends up then shaving off and becoming kind of those, I call them paint boogers in the paint. So I don't want that. Don't want that, let me tell you. I need to find a brand of burnt umber that is a little more, or maybe I just need to mix it with a little more oil. It just needs a little more, I think a little oil to make it. Okay. Okay. That's some dark. All right, we have some dark here. Kind of a blue tint to it. Wonder if we can add a little iridium. Okay, it's pretty dark. So we will and what I'm going to try to do is cut in, use this to cut into, oh, this is, why is this rocking so much? I don't know. I need to adjust my, but we won't do it right now. So I'm going to do this dark to reestablish this, and then we will put some more. We'll cut into this green a little bit. And hopefully that will cause these flowers to really stand out. Okay. They're already standing out, just getting that new layer of dark. So that's good. Again, welcome. I see more people popping in and out. Welcome to those of you who've just arrived. It's so good to have you. When I come in here, I want to get pretty specific. Because that will help us with the shape of this flower. Okay, now once I have this dark part painted in, there's not a whole lot I can do. So I'm going to be pretty precise with this. And so I need to kind of really be thoughtful about because I can do with what's already painted there. If I kind of use this darkness to essentially sculpt what's around, then I can really, I think, help fix what I want to do. So and I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to figure it out because I wasn't happy with how the painting ended. And I know this comes in now, looks super stark. So again, I don't know if this will actually work, but I'm hoping it will. Or I'll kind of figure it out as I go. Painting is really about solving problems. It's like, what isn't working? What bothers me about this, and then how can I fix it or improve it? some of these, many of these lines are already in here, and so I'm just kind of re-establishing them, if that makes sense. So I really want these 3 flowers to be kind of the focal point. So that is, I want to keep these sides pretty dark because I want to bring the eye definitely down, kind of in a circle here. The same, we'll start to bring the sides in a little bit. Just by where we're placing the dark spots, or the dark Y'all are really quiet tonight. There. Okay, I think we have most of it. Not sure. Okay. That feels pretty good to me. Now what I think I want to do, I'm used to looking at the dark. I think it already is doing what I want it to do as far as like bringing this out. I may have to put some darker, some more, you know, cut some of this like that so that it's more like lights. Because I don't want a lot of the eye to wander out away from the, I want this, the corners to really push the eye in. So this really stands out, especially the angle you all, because you're looking, your camera is looking down on it a little bit, but oh, what did I do? I made my, oh, yeah. Boa noite. Obrigado por visitar mi transmisión. Meu transmisión. Minha transmisión. I don't know if that's correct. It's a little bit Spanish, a little bit Portuguese. Thanks for staying up so late. Okay. Now, let's see if we can do some work on these flowers. Okay, we have kind of a shadow color and we have a light color. So let's see. This is the red color that's shining in the light, but it's kind of shining through the petal. So I hope. Oh, that is not coming out. You are not seeing that as red as I am, but it is pretty red. mixing all of this up. Hey Daniel, so good to see you. Thanks for popping in. Obrigado, Ed. Obrigado. Okay, now there we go. Okay, I think it's going the direction I want. Now, let me look at what I want to do. Actually, let me try one more yellow and orange. We'll do some. This will be the very, very brightest. It's going to just be where the sun is. It's almost like a fluorescent. Where the sun is hitting it. We don't want to overdo it, but this is where the sun is coming over the top of the this one will be the most, because that's where I want the eye to go. So that's a, then I want a red. I'm going to mix red and orange and a little brown. This will be the bright color up here, but it will be much more subtle. And these there, because that's what I want. I want that, and I love this texture. I don't know if you can see that on your screen, but the texture here is what I want. So I don't want to touch this at all, almost really much. Oh, I feel so much better about this. I don't know if this is too much. If I should take that back a little bit, but I don't think so, because it kind of goes out. Hopefully your eye then comes back around. I do like this to a little bit. I do like that. A little bit on this. Edge. But the sun is definitely shining right there. So, okay. I don't want to overpaint. I just want it to do that. I think these are good. Now, I want to take that. Where's my... I want to take this, and then I want to just be a lot more specific about the center of those flowers, because it will help us read what they are. Okay, now we need to do the same thing we just did with the orange and red, but with the green. Do you think we can do that in the next hour? Let us try. Let us try, boys and girls. Really like this a lot. That's what's crazy. I can paint this and then come back to it months later and improve enough to make a significant difference. Okay, I said I'm not gonna mess it too much. Then I start doing more, so I need to like back away. That's what you need to tell me. Back away, Steven. Okay. Now put the thing that I want to. I really need the same intensity on these. I want that same kind of texture. that's really what I have to see. All right. Now, again, let's just let this sit, percolate a little bit, and let's see if we can do some greens. So, greens are I'm just testing some mix, so we're doing some sap green and some, this is kind of that will give us the kind of that deep crispy green, but it probably needs a little bit of brown in it. That's kind of that dark green. Then we want to mix, I'm going to start with sap. Sap is so translucent. I'm going to do a little bit of light kind of mix. This is a light green. So that is, so let's come in here and figure out where we want some of these light green colors. Light to dark green. For sure we want those over here by these in the corners, because we want those just to kind of blend in. We want it to appear like there's some little bit of, you know, like there's obviously vegetation happening over here, but we don't want it to distract at all from our eyes, so there's not going to be very much specific happening. And I think I'm going to do that all the way around because I'm liking that. I'm liking this effect. Okay, can't remember what I know I did green, I think a little brown to this, that dark. Oh, it was a little turquoise also. So then we'll start to This dark green can also be kind of the shadow lights for some of this down here. Again, the further our eye gets away from this, the less detail there should be. We don't want very much at all sticking out. Okay, now what I'm going to do is take this brush and do, this is our where we start to detail our some of the brighter stalks. We want to give that illusion. Okay, I think that does what I want it to do. It's not very specific. The only thing left is I do want to do a very bright sunlight version of this. So this is kind of the highest, like, this will give us the illusion that there is because the poppies have such a distinct kind of bulb. Okay. Let me step back. Hey, Tessa, thank you. So good to see you. Thanks for popping in. Okay, y'all, I'm really liking how this has turned out. Very much. When I step back 6 or 8 feet, it's so much better than it started. And it's that pop that I really wanted. These are actually my grandmother had poppies all along her yard. She has them. Now it's my mother's yard. And so this is like those having poppies like this. That's what I wanted the feeling of the piece to be. I wanted it to be that. So, and it does that, I think. That's good. Okay, I'm gonna quit messing with it because I like it. And that's what I want. I want the eyes to go right in here like the sun, like there's a beam of light. So, that being said, let me now, I'm gonna turn you all back to, thank you, Miss Martin. So glad to have you pop in. Appreciate it. I hope you are doing well and staying warm. I know you're getting cold, cold, cold down there, even as far south as y'all are. Okay, so I'm backing up my camera so you can kind of look at this painting straight on. So you'll kind of get the view that I get as opposed to this kind of All right, let me pull you back to there. And this is what it looks like. So definitely much better than where we started. Hey, thank you, Bob G. Appreciate you popping in. I've been thinking about you the last day or so. I need to catch up with you. I did a show at the Opera House this weekend, so we did 3 performances and then had rehearsals, so it was a little crazy, but I will reach out so we can catch up. I hope you are staying warm as well. All right, let me turn this off and see if that makes a difference. There you can kind of see how bringing that really dark there is a good choice. It makes this pop out even more. So this will look great. Actually, let me see if I have a little, so imagine it like this. Oh, shoot. That's what I get. Isn't that what I get? That is what I get when it's wet paint. But imagine it like that. Really beautiful. There. Okay. That's good. I'm going to let this dry, I think. And then varnish it, because the varnish will help that dark really stand out. Let me actually... Okay, I'm going to bring you back because I don't want to make you all sick. Going with this wobbly camera. Not wobbly, but back and forth and back and forth. But I do want to come in here and take my... Okay, let's see if this makes a difference. There. I do want to come in and I think take out some stuff. So I'm mixing that dark again. I want to take all of this out. The stuff that I put in there with was like some grass in the background. I think it just distracts. And this one I want to tone down just a little bit. There. But I think that is good. There. That is what I think, at least. We'll see if that's... Can do a little something in there, so it's like... There we go. I'm so pleased with this. It's been sitting here for months and months. Just there you can see the texture when I get some glare on it. That's going to look so nice when I get varnish on it, because you'll be able to see all that texture. That's what I wanted. I didn't want it to look photorealistic, but obviously I want it to look like a painting, and I love this texture in these. I don't know if I get it real close, you can see the texture. So I really love the texture in those flowers, but that's what I wanted the feeling of this piece to be. So I'm going to set it over here to dry so that I can varnish it at some point. Actually, maybe put it with all my other ones over here. Yeah, we're just trying to move through these. Now I wonder, what can I do with we have a little bit of time. Sounds great. Look forward to it. Low of 9 to 10 degrees here, off and on over the next couple of days. Yeah, we had you're probably going to be getting our polar blast, because we had, well, the high today was -5, I think, -4. But it's supposed to break tomorrow. We'll get 30, but it's been like a high of 2, a high of 3, so it's been really cold, and then negatives at night. So let me see. We have a little bit of time. So here's another one that perfeito. Obrigado, Ed. Obrigado. Now let me see if we can do, this one is the tree, I think. Yes, okay. So let me pull that over here. Hey there, Shirley. Thanks so much for popping in. I hope you are well. I don't know if you saw, but I am going to be probably inactivating my Facebook account. So in the next month or so, couple weeks maybe, I downloaded all my data and backed it up, well, as much as I could get. It's a pain in the tuchus to do that, but it's just become more of a hassle than it's worth. So, great. But obviously I have your number and we have ways to stay in touch. So, okay. So we did the, all I have is a Spanish word in my head. Amapolas, the poppies. Now let's see if we can do this one, and let me put it on your screen. Now I'm going to need to resize this. So pardon me, y'all. It puts, I don't know why my software, it does this giant, whoop, then it, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. It does the reference photo like this giant photo. Oh, there I can do the sides. So then I have to, okay. That's sort of the reference I was working on. So let's see if we can, I like the cloud shapes and the mountain and things. It's just that these are, it looks dull like the poppies did. So I want to work on this a little bit. And I think with the greens and stuff we mixed, we can actually improve this quite a bit. So, we must absolutely, for sure. We'll just have to do it like in the olden days before we had, when I was making the decision to walk away from social media, or as much as possible, that was part of it. You think, man, because we become so used to, over 10, 12 years, just, having all these peripheral connections. But I was just like, ugh. The value it added to my life at the beginning is not commiserate with the value it adds now. So at some point, there's diminishing returns, and Mr. Zuckerberg has reached my limit of diminishing returns, at least for Facebook. I've been slowly weaning myself off anyway. Like, I don't log in very often. It's just I'll syndicate this over there. But all right, so what we need to do first, first, I want to, since I have this mixed here, I want to mix a little of this brown and this black and reestablish my darks in the distance. So these are, now on a landscape, typically your trees are going to be your darkest values. So let's go in and kind of restate some of these. And again, by carving in, I can reestablish what's there. I think. And what I want it to look like is that basically there's a clump of trees right here, and then there's the further, like these trees in the background. So in order to make sure that that is set, I'm going to have to do a pretty, we'll just do a, now we need just a tad diffuse. So we're going to put some brown over here, and what else should we, maybe a little bit of raw umber, I'm not sure. We want to lighten it just a tad because it's a little bit further, but not much. So I want we'll try to, whoops, sorry about that, bop. We'll try to just put some the thing is, I need to basically give the impression of this without, because cameras give us like every detail. Like I can look and see all the individual branches on some of those distant trees, but in a painting I just want the illusion that there are layers of trees. So I'm just trying to do some dark shadow spots in places that won't look like that, it will look organic and not, because humans, we want to create patterns automatically, like our brains create patterns. So all of a sudden you'll see like jagged, you know, like M's or something going across my pattern if I'm not careful to be as random as I can be. Okay. Now, okay, now we need to see, this is the challenge I've had before. We need to figure out how to do our deep values This is where I think we're going to do our, let's do our dark, we have our dark greens. Back here. Now we need a little bit of, because I want to be able to tell, I want it different than the, I don't want it the same value as the shadows, if that makes sense. Otherwise it's just going to look I think this is good for the values in the distance, and then up close we'll do a little bit more. So when you're doing landscapes, the key is our yellows, reds drop out of our eye perception faster. So, and then green. So if we want something to look like it's in the distance or forward, like if we want to bring it forward, then we need to bring more green and yellow. Like you'll notice those trees in the reference, they're subtly more kind of a greenish yellow. So we'll do that, and we'll bring them forward a little bit. Again, I just want to suggest this, so I'm having to be kind of like Bob Ross, do some happy little trees, kind of that, kind of just do that design around these shadows. But that makes it a little more difficult because the paint is wet. So we need just a little bit more. We bring them even further forward. Now these things, these bushes that are kind of lower and flatter, we add more light to because the light is reflecting off kind of a flat plane. So if we do that, then we can give the illusion that they are in the front and the sun's reflecting this way. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but we'll see. Then the ones that are very close, or not very close, but closest, we want to have some At least that's my attempt. We'll see if it works. Now, there's this green. We're going to mix it in a little bit. And this is right across here. The grass will always be more bright because the light's reflecting straight off it. So and we want to bring the eye down to the center of the Now I should be able to take this, again, almost fluorescent green I have. I can't remember, did I? Oh, that was sap green and yellow, I think. So let me put a little bit out. Oh, y'all, this session, I've had a disappointing couple of sessions in the studio off camera, so like having a good session just like is so motivating when you kind of feel like you figured out the puzzle at least a little bit. I kept wondering why not wondering, but I just could see that my paintings were just lifeless in the sense, like kind of dull, like the colors were dull. Things weren't popping the way I want them to. And so this is encouraging me quite a bit. Okay, and then I need, oh man, I will probably be doing more paintings, so let's just put some things out on the Nope, that's not what I want to do. I want to take yellow and sap green and mix it together. And there we go. Now we should be able to create kind of some areas that are high areas, lower areas, etc. Then we need some of this yellow. Okay. I say that all the time. I need to practice not saying that. We need a very specific kind of, this is okay. This is so much better just looking at it. So much better. Okay, now there is a little now I want to do this. I want to take a little bit of this and so I want to give the illusion that this little creek winds all the way back in there somewhere. I don't know if it actually does. I think it does, but that's what I want to give the illusion of. Now, I need to take a little bit of white and mix it with this brownish gray color. Start to draw in the creek. Yeah, see, that's kind of what I want. But now I need to figure out, I'm not sure how to show that this is a creek and not a road. I mean, it's that makes sense. Do you guys have any suggestions other than to make it kind of wonky? I guess that kind of, by taking it back in here a little bit, that kind of gives the impression that it is not a road. It's not too let's see. I might have to do one more layer of this, or a detail layer. I'm not sure. There, I think this helps to indicate that it's a creek as opposed to a now. Under, oh, there. I think that is much better. Now, I think I can do a wipe this orange out here. Let's do some of this red, mix it in with the dark here. It's kind of emphasizing I'm oversaturating some of this, but that's okay. If it makes a better painting, it looks prettier. Kind of different shades of light. And orange. I like this a lot, y'all. Oh, we may get 2 paintings almost done. We only have about 10 minutes, but I want to now work on, go back to my kind of gray. Now, I wonder if I can do this. There's all these little flowers. I don't know if this will bring them too far forward. I think it's too white. Well, this is much brighter and more vibrant than it started, so this makes me happy. All right, I think I got it where I want. I can do more. Well, yeah, I'm at the end of the time. I may do a little more in the sky, because I think I can do, actually, you know what? If you guys will stay here or not, you don't have to, but I'm going to paint a little bit more just because I'm already this far in. Might as well. And so I'll take a little bit of blue sky. That's my, oh, that's way too much, but oh well. Now, okay, take some blue, mix my sky color, some white. To diffuse it a little bit, we need a little bit of yellow, just a very, very tiny bit, so that it's not just a little bit of yellow, gives us just a warmer glow to our sky. Maybe a little orange. Yeah, it kind of diffuses our, I want the sky to pop, so I want plenty of saturation in it, but I want it to jump out. So I'm do another layer of this, because I think will really as we get further down, we want to desaturate it a little bit. Thank you. That's yeah, if I can get this, and we take a little bit more white into the color as we go closer to the horizon, because we're looking through more of the atmosphere at that point. We'll take that all the way to the horizon line. Then we'll have really vibrant color up here. This gives us the feeling of distance as well. We just take a little bit. Okay, now we want our kind of we'll give the gray a reddish tint. Are you getting rid of Instagram as well, making a whole media break? Not immediately, but that's the direction I'm going. It's hard because Instagram is like the place for posting art, and so it's hard for me to mentally break from it, but also it's not like I'm trying to, gain millions of followers and, I have nothing to protect at Instagram. And so the thing is, I can always come back, but it's just, again, the amount of time and the value to my life is not significant anymore. So that's kind of how I'm making the decision. And really, one of my goals this year for the new year was to be more intentional about how I direct my time and energy, very intentionally. And so if that's the case, I want to be, there's no reason to spend much time at all on Facebook, Instagram. I've been working on this for a couple years. I uninstalled Snapchat from my phone a couple years ago, and immediately uninstalled TikTok when it first came out, because I realized almost instantly that I had no self-control, and I realized it was a totally different. This was even before Instagram started doing Reels. I was like, this is a totally different beast, and I have no self-control with it. So I messed around with TikTok a little bit, and then pretty much quickly let it go. And that's also watching all the drama with people who are addicted to TikTok, or not. I shouldn't say addicted, but I mean, we all are. But all the people that were coming unglued when it went away for 24 hours or 12 hours or whatever it was, and the potential of it going away. I realized, that didn't affect my life much at all. And that was kind of a nice feeling. And so if I get rid of these others, it will be probably pretty much the same. And so that's where, but I've started slowly doing this over time, getting myself used to not relying on these social platforms. I've started building more important networks specifically in my local community, so that I get my real connection, and that kind of takes away some of that, not the dopamine hit, but that feeling of, I'm missing out when my life is super full anyway. That has helped to make it easier to step away now. So slowly but surely, I think I'm speaking for myself. I surrendered my energy and time and life little by little. It was like the frog being boiled, but I did it rather unintentionally over time, just as these things became more, and they became more intentional about how their algorithms worked, because when we first started, it wasn't specifically designed to manipulate us to stay on the platform as long as possible. I mean, that was the intent, but it wasn't it wasn't the only thing. And now that they've got it down literally to a science, and I have no hope of overcoming that, I'm like, I don't really want to be the commodity anymore. But that's my rant. That's my soapbox. So I know y'all don't care about that necessarily. I might have to redo these clouds. They're not looking the way I want them to. They're looking a little funky. This is what I mean. You start to get into, and now all I'm seeing is line, 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 line. And you start to get human tendency to create patterns. Trying to just create some variation in edges, because I do want these down here to be fairly straight across, to because they are a little bit further away. But these ones should be a little more, the cumulus clouds are a little more I'll probably give this a day or so and come back to it. All right, that's enough over painting. I've used so many paintbrushes, but I'm really happy with this. So I'm just going to leave that and then maybe probably retouch the clouds. And I need to do that with the painting I did. So let me bring you back to center and then I'll set my camera, turn my camera around to say good night properly. We are here every Monday night on YouTube, Twitch, for the moment Facebook, but you can always find me. If you find me on YouTube, you can set it to send you, if this is something you're enjoying, you can set it to send you a notification when I go live. It's every Monday night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. So, yeah, take advantage of that. All right, let me go here. I want to say thank you to all of you who have stayed with me or popped in or stayed with me throughout the evening. This is where we are with this painting. So I'm much more pleased. It's much more vibrant. The greens are a lot more vibrant. They were just really dull, and I'm liking how it turned out. So that's where we are with that one. As I look at it, I'm like, oh, the clouds aren't bad, but this one is one I've been working on. I worked on the clouds again this weekend or this week, and they're just not where I want them. So I'm going to keep working on those. It's not awful. And then this lady really needs a lot of work, but the church is looking really good. So I'm going to keep working on that. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paintings in front of me still that are needing to be completed. Let me show you I am super happy with this one for tonight. So makes me super happy. It really does what I wanted it to do. It pops out. It's really vibrant, has great texture. Now that it's starting to dry, if I can get it close, you can see the texture of the paintbrush. That's what I really love, that kind of painting. So this one makes me super happy. So I will let that dry and then I will varnish it. But yeah, that's where we're going with getting some of these paintings done at the first of the year. So I want to say thank you again for joining me. I hope you have a great evening. Stay warm wherever you are. And we will see you next week, Monday night at 6 p.m. Have a good night, everybody.